We're gonna focus on one game, a non-print game. And we're gonna have a look at San Quentin, Dead Row. The first one came out, what is it, like 3 years ago? Nope.
And then this, like, okay.
Scatters that unlock the jail cells, which is something that I actually really like in the way that they use scatters here. They're so rare. You really look for them because you really want the bonus. But even if you don't get the bonus, at least you get a wild out of it and they activate the cells at the bottom and the top. It's not something you can do, I think, with something that is not super volatile like this one.
Yeah.
Because then you want to have a lot of scatters.
Yeah.
But in this case, it works really nicely. So the new one is 200,000 X.
You just don't want it to be anything less than the prequel. So you just kind of put a higher number for the sake of just upgrading wherever possible.
So the thing that you notice immediately, I think, is that it's now a 4x5. But otherwise, seems very similar.
Or like, if you look at that green low pair, I don't know what that is. And I've noticed that like other people don't really know what it is.
I think it's a used up toilet roll.
Oh, right, that's what it is. That's a difficult symbol to sort of communicate in a way. I think the gloves are a little bit weird as well, like in the sense that...
But that made more sense to me. At least, you know, you have some anal search.
All right.
But I do feel like the overall quality of the actual symbols is a bit less, I find, than in the previous game. They don't have as much character as they did in the first one. And I don't know if that's just because they're smaller here, because the grid is different. But there really isn't anything going on in the base game.
No, I mean the whole scatters, they're trying their best to do something and open stuff up, but you kind of give up hope on them after a while. Are you willing to donate your hard-earned cash?
Well, I'm gonna have to lower my stake, and then I can do just this one.
I can do one buy, and that's probably...
Oh, actually, there's a no limit booster as well.
Oh yeah, we could try that one.
If I do that at 10, that does spice up the base game a lot as well, of course.
Definitely feels like a good deal.
Because even if you don't get money out of it, at least you get some excitement out of it. Oh!
Nice.
Nice.
So now we have really one of the few differences in this game from the previous one mechanically. Almost the only one. Which is that you can gamble to get more of these jumping wilds. And it's very scary. It's 1 in 6 to get one more. So I've tried many times and I always just destroy it. It always just gets destroyed.
But this is kind of crazy though. There's like zero explanation about what these two buttons do.
The right one is collect and the other one is gamble.
But what am I collecting? What am I gambling? It doesn't say anything.
Yeah, you can see like scratch there, you get 8 spins. You can take 8 spins or you can gamble your spins. So look, there's a very subtle thing. Like if you hold over the red button, you see how those 5 spins, they become highlighted as because they will disappear if you fail the gamble. And you'll have 3 spins with a single jumping wild.
Yeah, but what do I gain if I gamble just this here plus 1-6? What does that even mean?
Yeah, so you have 1 in 6 chance to get plus 1 jumping wild.
Jesus, but that's terrible.
Yeah,
terrible UI.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, especially if you, again, like as always with slots, it rides so much on people having played the same game before, the same mechanic before. Like, just because of that, then maybe you could understand it. Like, not that first time, but after a while at least.
Sure.
But if this is the first time they make this game and it's just that, then it would be really freaking hard to get.
Okay, but at least there is an explanation when you press the button.
Yeah.
So Samla is collect, 8 green mile spins, 1 jumping wild. Okay, so if I do this one, risk of losing 5 green mile spins or get 1 extra jumping wild.
Make it see the percentage.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, but fair enough, at least...
Yeah, it's not just on the click.
Yeah.
But I remember also being like, here the first times with the old game and like, okay, what happened now? And like, okay, 5x, and then it starts. And here, of course, what we want again is to split the wild with the razor blade, because that will make it ×2 for the rest of this 3 spins, and then it will become times 4 and times 8 and so on and so forth.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That is how you win the 200,000 X's. Like once the wilds, like they can go to like 128, you know, so you have like a 128 and 164 and 132, you know, and they're all jumping around, and yeah, the multiply each other. But I think it's damn near impossible with only one jumping wild from the start. Yeah.
So now there is a razor blade going horizontally, not just vertically.
So the golden wilds there, they will sort of deflect the razor blade, and that I think they honestly could have explained a little bit more clearly, so that like you see the razor blade almost like bouncing to the side when it hits the wild or something. Right. Because that is basically what happened. Like the wild will also, and that can sometimes split another wild on the side. So it's a really cool thing. But when I saw it for the first time, I had no idea what was going on, because there was just another wild that was being split. And I don't understand how that one was also being split twice, you know, but it was because there was one splitter above it, and then there was another wild that was being split on another reel that kind of split that original wild. And as a result, it got doubled twice. And yeah, it took some time for me to understand that. Come on.
Oh!
Yes!
Nice.
The problem with that gamble is that it's like 15% chance. That is low. Like it feels like
really low.
For these kind of gambles, you want 50%. Because the thing is, here it's also they made a decision that we were struggling with Huntress Wild Vengeance, where you could gamble how many spins you wanted, and we couldn't decide if, like, when you lose the gamble, should you just go straight out and get 0 spins? Is that too harsh? Or should you get a couple of spins, but then is that kind of worthless because you're still not going to win big out of a few spins? And what we ended up doing was essentially chicken out game design wise and allow both. So you could decide if you wanted to go full on, where you would lose all the spins, or you would get, like it is here, you would get a few spins, even if you lost the gamble.
So if I'm at 4 and then I lose it, do I lose everything?
You will just, no, you will get 3 spins with 4. So you're always losing spins.
Okay, but then it kind of makes sense that you at least keep some spins, I think. Because at least you get to experience what you fought for just a little bit, and then you understand the potential, making you get appetite to do it again. But I'm not gonna do it.
The problem is, like, even when you have 3, because you kind of need a lot of spins too, because the real potential is when they start to build up, you know, when they get cut. And as long as you just have 3 spins, it's just never gonna get any kind of cutting action. So it's like, it's hard to sort of see the full potential of it without the full 8 spins, because it's really what it's all about. But that max thing, that's the max win. Then you don't even play the free spins. Then you just get the max win. You're out.
Oh, okay.
But I would never go for that gamble, because it's 1 in 7, and you already have, at that point, you've already gambled up to 5 of those wilds, and that's already insane. Like, if you buy the super bonus, then you only get 3. So then you still have to gamble 2 more in order to sort of hit the 5. And that is hard. Like, I saw a streamer sit for at least an hour just trying to get to 5. And he lost, like, he had 220,000 euros and down to like 120 when I left, just trying to do that on 2,500 euro per buy.
It's basically responsible gaming at its finest.
Just lovely.
Yeah. Just want to see what other things there are here. So with this one, you get 2 immediately. That's expensive. Wow.
But how much does that become on the lowest bet? 90. It's still gonna go pretty quick. Okay, some money back there.
So dangerous, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that. So we kind of have seen the green mile. So
But basically, like, So you see how they work. Like it's just that you get to start on more of those jumping wilds.
Kind of want to see. So what kind of win is it then? So you just
Gamble for the
gambles.
gamble,
Gambles again.
and he actually got it. Oh, and then he just gambled again. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not very fun. So then it's definitely not that max win. Shite. It's probably a little bit of gambling. Hopefully it gambles up to 5. Oh no, he took that. Okay. Like your bill.
Yeah, you can see why the 4 would help a lot.
Mm. That's a pretty big win.
Wow, that was a serious win.
Mm.
This was a $45,000 bet, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty insane in itself.
Like gambling a very nice car in a single spin.
I paid off. It was the right move. You know, it was totally the right
Yeah,
move.
obviously. But don't you think like Nitropolis, that must have come after San Quentin, I'm guessing.
The first Nitropolis, yeah, probably.
Because I think that one takes a lot of elements from this, but then builds on top of it a much more entertaining. Like the features that it introduces just makes it more fun in the base game at least, whilst keeping a reasonable kind of win potential. And that's kind of what I'm missing here, that it hasn't really pushed the envelope much.
No, exactly. I would say the same. I would say you don't really have to go all the way with Nitropolis, because I think sometimes they're like messing a little bit too much with the plot, to the point where like in some of them you're kind of like you're starting to slightly lose track of the same sort of chases and the same flow as the original game, because it's really only the gamble that is new now, and I'm not like massively enticed by that gamble because it seems so harsh. And that's been kind of the formula as well. If you look at a lot of successful sequels like Racer Returns and Extra Chili, you take the same game, you add like 1 or 2 features, like something like maybe increase the features by like 10% or something like that, so like not big. And then you can also add a gamble on top.
Like it, I think it's okay, but I don't think it's great.
No.
Like it's not the type of game that I would actually look to play again.
Yeah.
But that's probably also because I'm not the target audience, maybe.
Yeah.
I like my shenanigans.
Yeah.
I like my pirates going all over the place and doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not just gunning for this 200,000x.
My first favorite game was Dead or Alive. So, you know, I don't mind a clear chase, and like I love when wilds are. I love that these wilds are really strong and that they're paying out really well when they're actually lining up, and they're not just like they're not bullshit. But yeah, I would like to see just a little bit more, and I do think it's a little bit sad that they put that max win thing in, because it kind of like, to me, it devalues the rest of the mechanics a little bit. That you can just ignore all those wilds that are so fun to see and just get the max win. And that is like what you see on the leaderboard, then I think it's a little bit sad. But I mean, people have been really hyped and playing it. I'm sure it's going to make a lot of money, so you know, can't knock it too much. But for San Quentin 3, I would love to see some more features.